Hi, my name is Peter Green. I have spent most of the past 25 years helping mid-sized manufacturing plants in the USA use smart operations management technology to compete in a tough global environment, made even tougher by unnecessary government regulations. First, to dispel a huge myth, is that manufacturing in the USA has been offshored. Today, there are over 2,300 mid-sized manufacturing plants with 10 million to 200 million in annual sales within a 2-hour drive of my office here, where I'm located in the center of the state of Massachusetts in the USA. And there are over 60,000 such manufacturing plants nationwide in the USA. This count has not changed much since Y2K, the turn of the century, the year 2000, 25 years ago. For marketing purposes, I do these surveys every few years. And really, the number has not changed very much from my first survey at Y2K to last year's survey. What has changed is the nature of manufacturing. Up to Y2K, the turn of the century, most manufacturing in the USA was make to stock, with each plant making large quantities of a limited number of standard products in long manufacturing runs lasting many weeks. Putting these products into a warehouse and then shipping these products to customers from the stock in their warehouse. Then along came the WTO, the World Trade Organization, Chinese manufacturing, and Amazon. As a result, all make-to-stock manufacturing went to Asia, primarily to China. And US manufacturers had to become experts in make-to-order manufacturing, as making short runs or individual products, short runs of semi-custom products with very rapid turnaround, very often of a few days, from a standard set of intermediate products. The 6 weeks it took an ocean freight container, it still does, to come to the USA from China enabled quick response local manufacturers to survive in the USA by offering very quick turnaround on orders. But of course, the Chinese caught up, as they are very good at manufacturing too, and supply chains, and until recently had much lower labor rates. This enabled the Chinese to flood the US market with lower cost products and put immense competitive pressures on our manufacturing companies. But the good news is we are successfully responding. For example, 20 years ago, one of my clients in the USA had over 100 workers on the factory floor running semi-automated equipment. They also had about 20 people in the front office doing management tasks. The last time I visited, they had just 6 people running highly automated machines, making more products to order than they'd ever made before, with 4 people in the warehouse and now 30 people in the front office. Many plants in the USA are like this one and serve to answer part of the question about whether we can competitively reshore manufacturing to the USA. The answer is yes, we can reshore most, if not all, of the work, especially at the beginning, mineral extraction, and then final assembly of the supply chain, and as a result add to the current $3 trillion output from manufacturing plants every year in the USA. But we will not reshore the declining number of jobs, actually worldwide, in manufacturing, which is as well because we have a shrinking demographic population projection. Since Y2K, we have substantially increased the number of management and staff jobs in the front office. This might seem to be a good thing, but unfortunately many of these people are doing intelligent grunt work to comply with government regulations. The primary goal of my team is to apply real-time AI, artificial intelligence, and smart operations management technology to replace many of these front office jobs. So again, these jobs will probably not come back to the USA in great number, but will probably shrink substantially in the not too distant future. We know how to stand up a new manufacturing plant and have it up and running in 90 days. But there are three primary impediments to bringing back more manufacturing plants to the USA, which I would like to address. The first one is unfair competition from China subsidizing its state-owned manufacturers to produce goods at less than their material cost. And that's to keep full employment in China and avoid the overthrow of the CCP. Secondly, government regulations in the USA. Over 86,000 pages in the Code of Federal Regulations, which is a stack 20 stories high, which mainly exist, in my opinion, to create jobs for the wannabe elites who pay too much for a degree from an expensive university. And thirdly, staffing, lack of skilled people. Let me address these. Number one, unfair competition. It's best solved by tariffs and trade negotiations, but historically has been settled by war over the past few thousand years. Secondly, government regulations. They're like a plague of locusts, very difficult to control, and really the subject for another complete video. Thirdly, staffing with skilled people are where we're making the most progress by using smart, numerically controlled machines and machine intelligence to assist shop floor people in doing complex jobs. This can substantially reduce the skill level and training required to set up and operate these machines. Finally, let me address the elephant in the room when it comes to people and their skills and how this applies to staffing manufacturing plants. This is IQ, intelligence quotient, which measures the conceptual ability of people. The state secret, kept censored by our woke elite for the past 20 years or more, is that the IQ of half the population is less than 100, by definition. This does not mean, as some would imply, that half the population of America is dumb or stupid or incompetent, but we do know that IQ correlates strongly with conceptual ability, but pretty poorly with street smarts, as I will explain in a subsequent video. Production workers with an IQ of less than 100 are the people who are the happiest and most productive in a manufacturing environment. This does not include the managers, manufacturing engineers, and IT people needed to run each manufacturing plant, who typically have an IQ of 110 or more. As the available workforce in the USA is over 211 million people, and currently only just over 12 million people work in manufacturing, we do not have a shortage of people who would be happy and willing to work in a well-paying manufacturing job. We do, however, have a rapidly dwindling supply of manufacturing engineers, IT people, and experienced manufacturing and operations managers as experienced people retire. Or they trade in their jobs, which typically pay $100,000 to $150,000 a year, which is not bad, for a job as a DEI manager at some government-funded charity or other, which apparently pay over $300,000 per year. Or become a financial engineer on Wall Street and make millions of dollars. Which brings me back to the other half of the population with an IQ of over 100. Yes, we do need experienced managers on the senior management teams of manufacturing plants. And we need experienced technicians and IT people to support manufacturing operations. But this is only a small fraction of the people needed in each plant, especially as we introduce smart operations management technology into the front office operations. So what do we do with all these surplus, overeducated people, for which there will be an ever-decreasing demand as the number of mid-level management and staff jobs in general are replaced by AI and in manufacturing in smart operations management technology? We can no longer afford as a nation to absorb all these people into government, generating an ever-increasing number of regulations and trying to force socialist or communist conformity on everybody else. Nor can we afford to absorb them into universities with their rapidly declining enrollments and now declining government handouts. These people can, I guess, become baristas at McDonald's. But even the hospitality sector is getting into deep financial trouble, with even McDonald's becoming unaffordable for many or even most families in the USA. Fortunately, that is not my problem. I have my hands full with my manufacturing clients. Thank you for watching this video. Please click on the like and subscribe buttons if you would like to see more videos like this. Thank you.